This is gonna be funny. So I've just been informed of this situation when Goji Center made a video called "This is what happens when you challenge Goji Center." And remember when Goji Center made the Indominus 2.0? Well, apparently Goji Guy, formerly known as Godzilla Guy, has made this video creating a dinosaur that stomps the Indominus 2.0. And well, Goji Center has made a response to that. We're gonna watch both of them because I don't know, because I haven't seen this, and I'm curious to see what it is. But we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna watch the other one in one go. So yeah, this should be interesting. So let's just jump right in, shall we?
It's the spooky month. Howdy everybody, and here, come gather on the fire. One of my favorite things I've done on this channel is working with my amazing artist Rivalry, go follow her on Instagram by the way, and making all sorts of hybrids. Godzilla hybrids, dinosaur
Yeah, I've seen some of the Godzilla hybrids. This thing's cool as hell. Yeah.
hybrids,
I haven't looked at all of them though. I want to look at some more of them though.
and xenomorph hybrids. Just non-stop
Xenomorph hybrids too? Okay, I gotta take a look at some of this.
combinations of monsters. And man, do I love them all near and dear. Yep. They're all cooked up in my radioactive brain and drawn beautifully by an artist. I sure would hate for something to happen to them. No!
What happened?
I sure would hate for something to happen to them.
It's the Indominus attacking a Spino. Okay. Is this the Indominus 2.0? I think it is because of the hulking arms. Yeah.
No! Spinosaurus, my baby! Who did this to you? You! For so long, I was the guy that made the hybrids. And right as I step my foot into the Jurassic scene, Goji Center pulls the rug under my feet and flattens my dinosaurs with their own marvelous creation, the Indom 2.0. This beast shreds through my dinosaurs.
Really?
The only way my guys could stand a chance is if they worked together in perfect unison. But they couldn't. They're all dead.
Wow,
Eaten alive by
damn.
Goji Center's beast. But that ends now.
Oh.
Today in the Goji Guy laboratories, I will be developing a dinosaur. No, a monster. So violent, so deadly, so unkillable. It will put the Indom 2.0 6 feet under in a heartbeat.
Okay,
Today
then.
we'll be making the Indom 2.0's killer. The Indom at the end of this video will be nothing more than a piece of candy stuck in his
Jesus.
teeth. Happy Halloween, everybody, and let's get cooking. Now, the
right,
nice
then.
thing about this channel is that realism, yeah, it was never a part of this channel, which off the bat is our biggest advantage. While Goji Center is
then.
bound and held back by real-world science, ours, yeah, no.
Oh boy.
Our dino flips the bird to evolution and physics. So let's start with a baseline dinosaur to build onto. Let's start with the Spinosaurus, shall we? The Spino provides a body that is large but simple, allowing us to add onto it with ease. Even so, the Spino is already a formidable opponent. With his long arms and strong jaw, this allows our dino to be blessed with a long reach, allowing us to attack our enemy while they can't hit us. But let's continue. Let's add the Giganotosaurus, giving us superb durability, along with strong legs and an incredible bite. Already we have a deadly hybrid on our hands.
Yeah.
But we want to take down the Indom 2.0, so we need a lot more.
Yeah,
Next up is the main
probably.
component of our enemy, the Indominus Rex. The Indom gives us a plethora of other dino DNA, such as T-Rex, Velociraptor, Therizinosaurus, Deinosuchus, and much more, boosting us even further. She also brings longer claws, deadly sharp teeth, and thermal vision. And all of that is good, but the most important part now is that we are now part Indom, meaning we'll know how the Indom 2.0 fights, how it behaves, how it functions. And lastly for dino DNA, we'll be taking in the first ever hybrid dino, the Scorpius Rex.
Oh, Jesus.
Not only are we adding it to the pot, but firstly, we'll be altering his DNA.
Spino, Giga, Endom, and Scorpius all in one go. Jesus Christ. Truly forming up an abominable monster here, aren't we?
Making his venom much more potent and deadly. But here's where it gets super unnecessarily broken.
Oh,
Now for
Jesus.
context, most scaled animals have similar features to hairy animals when it comes to oil production. Like how your or my hair produces oil, some scaled animals rely on a combination of mucus and natural oil to keep them healthy. This is where things get broken. We're not only changing the venom of the Scorpius, as you'll see in a moment, we're changing how it comes out.
Oh, boy.
While sure, the Steino will still have quills, it's also not producing it for every single one of its scales, making it so that if you bite or slash at it, you will one way or another get toxin within you.
Oh,
And the
no.
toxin, well, here's what we did. Now, within seconds, the enemy's blood congeals,
Oh,
making it so that the
Jesus.
Indon 2.0 hits us, its own blood solidifies in its body.
Oh no. Oh no. That does not sound good at all.
Making it agonizing to move, and slowly killing the Indom as there's now no blood flow throughout the body. And thanks to Scorpius, we're also now immune to any sort of disease. So I believe there's now already an argument to be held. This custom dino is already practically unstoppable. Even the Indom 2.0 would have some issues, as anywhere it tries to bite or cut, it could start to kill itself. And our dino could also deal some hard hits. But we aren't done just yet.
That is like some fan fiction bullshit right there they have to put up with. Oh yeah, you can hit it, but you're just gonna end up hurting yourself most of the time anyways. Jesus Christ.
We want to make sure that no matter what Goji Center or any other channel in the future creates, this silly dino will still stay on top. Okay, next up is chameleon DNA.
Oh,
this allows us to camouflage even better, and we also have near 360-degree vision. That paired with the thermal vision already makes it impossible for anything to sneak up on us. And that also gives us a very strong and prehensile tail, allowing us to practically hang from trees and hide. But we, of course, aren't done yet. Next up is the bite. Goji Center's Indom 2.0's main feature is its insane bite. And I promised myself I wouldn't use anything they used. So instead, we're using the behemoth that is the Dunkleosteus.
Oh, no.
Now, it's hard to say how strong the Dunk's bite is, but researchers say somewhere between 11,000 pounds per square inch all the way up to 80,000 pounds.
Jesus.
Now, why not the Megalodon, you may ask? While yes, it's widely speculated the Megalodon has a stronger bite, we're actually using the Dunk for its quick snapping attributes, as the way its jaw works allows it to rapidly snap its jaw shut, meaning that if the Indom 2.0 is unlucky enough to have any of its body near the mouth, it will be gone before it can even realize. But there's still one big issue, the arms. The Indom 2.0 has some massive arms, so what will we add to counter it? An orangutan? An elephant? Nope, a shrimp. Yes, really. Specifically, the pistol shrimp. As those who don't know what a pistol shrimp is, let me explain. The pistol shrimp, despite its small size, is one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. This because of their method of attack. Now, it makes them hit so hard is due to many factors, but the main ones being, 1, their claws operate like a lever, amplifying the force of their snap, and 2, their claws close incredibly fast, often hitting their target over 50 miles an hour. Now, while we haven't given the dino claws, we will give it the pistol shrimp's fast muscles, allowing the dinosaur to attack at lightning speeds, with one hell of a punch behind it. And to add on further, the pistol shrimp, even though it's only around 2 inches in length, are able to punch with roughly 150 pounds of force, hitting so fast they vaporize the water around them in the process. Scaling those tiny arms up to our dino, we're looking at a dinosaur that in a blink of an eye could hit you with hundreds of tons of force.
Jesus.
Pretty much imagine a tugboat slamming into you at 150 miles an hour.
Christ.
Yeah. No matter who you are, that will not be a fun time.
Yeah.
So everything is together.
I'm pretty sure it's just lights out at that point.
To mix it all up, the Spino's body length, the Giga's strength with the Indom's muscle mass, the claws and fangs of the Indom, the quills and toxin of the Scorpius, the fast muscles for the arms and jaw from the shrimp and Dunk. The shrimp's headpiece is a sharp skull, good for headbutting and stabbing, a thick tail from the Dunkleosteus, perfect for speedy swimming, and the eyes, a custom touch. So the last thing the Indom 2.0 sees are bright red eyes. Fusing all these animals together, and you're left with Hank. Yes, really, that's his name. Hank is a freakish beast, not meant for the real world. His only purpose is to avenge his
that is one gnarly ass dino. Jesus Christ. That's not something I want to put it. Christ.
fallen brethren, the Gigaraptor, Spinonotosaurus, Endoxenosaurus, and the Anchiceratops. I think I can say comfortably, we have made a dinosaur that is able to take down the Indom 2.0. Whether he dies afterwards isn't the matter. The only goal is to take out the Indom, and his goal...
Okay, so it doesn't matter about living. Okay, I gotcha. It's going in kamikaze style, gotcha.
...is completed. But Goji Center's smart, crafty, hell, I'd even say brilliant. Whether they mean to or not, they will someday design another dinosaur, one that not even Hank could stand a chance against. So we've taken
that's why I'm here watching this one.
one step further,
right.
and added an animal so stupidly powerful, it has been deemed as the unkillable animal, the tardigrade. The tardigrades, despite being a microscopic organism, are by far the most resilient creatures on the planet, being able to handle temperatures from negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit and all the way up to 302 degrees Fahrenheit. They can survive insane pressure over 6,000 times the standard atmosphere. Pressure that strong can turn gas into liquid, and turn liquids into solids. They can tank radiation like a champ. They can survive years without water, they can withstand high levels of toxins and extreme pH levels, and they can even survive the vacuum of space.
Christ.
Not even the great beyond, that is the boundlessness of space, can kill these guys.
Huh.
So, I think it's safe to say, Hank wins this battle. Thank you all very much for watching, and go out there and have a fun Halloween. And I want to clarify, there is no beef between me and Goji Center. This video is done entirely for fun, and in the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, there's no actual beef between them. I even looked at the comment of the video we're about to watch next, and there's no actual beef. It's all for fun. So yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Dino and Kaiju content. But, as always, keep trick-or-treating. Goji Guy, out. See ya.
There you go. Alright, so that's how that started. Let's see how Goji Center ends it. Let's see how he takes out the Hank. Or just Hank.
Here on Goji Center HQ, the team was minding our own business, cooking up some upcoming batches of nightmare fuel for a future episode, when this came up on our radar. Oh, don't worry, if we hadn't noticed it, plenty of other people would have, and we're all too happy to let us know. Upon digging a little deeper to find out what all the commotion was about, a whole plethora of mentions, comments, and messages, we stumbled across a rather interesting creation. Meet Hank, a monstrous hybrid creation cooked up by the YouTuber Goji Guy and talented artist Valeria_LNX. Sporting a body covered in toxins, jaws of the dreaded Dunkleosteus, skin and eyes of a chameleon, the striking power of a pistol shrimp, and the uncanny survivability of a tardigrade. A truly terrifying creature that was custom built to destroy our Indom 2.
Looks so much more menacing in this style. To me it does. Well, actually, it just looks menacing regardless. Oh, Jesus Christ. I like seeing it in different styles.
0.0. This animal was conjured by the great minds of the research team of Goji Center, brought together with one goal: exterminate all life on Nublar.
Oh, good
and
Lord.
it more or less had the potential to cause a global health crisis. This animal minding its own business was pitted against a new amalgamation, a hybrid battle that we never asked for but got dragged into. So
pretty
fine,
much.
after the challenging
Yeah, he really was just minding his own damn business. Then Hank came along and said, "Fuck you," and just pretty much committed a hate crime, I guess. If you can even call it that. Well, can you? I don't know. Regardless, so I guess it's time to retaliate now.
our way, we have exactly what a lot of you wanted to see. A horrific beast with precisely calibrated abilities to make it as lethal as it could be to bring Hank down. Indominous 2.0 is hereby upgraded to nothing.
Oh.
No, seriously, we aren't changing anything.
Oh.
What you're looking at is Indom 2.0, but with different skins in Jurassic World Evolution.
Okay, so what are we gonna do about it then?
Alright, Nexus mods link below. Anyways, instead, she's stepping back into the analysis platform, and today we'll evaluate how our monstrous creature stands up against its new challenger, revealing a few tricks she had up her sleeve all along, and also lay bare a few critical weaknesses in its adversary. Making a hybrid doesn't mean automatically combining the best traits of both with no trade-offs. For every strength you add, you also add weaknesses. And because the dinosaurs and creatures in the Jurassic series are real animals, we can use real-life biology. After all, the Indominus Rex's fantastic ability to change color isn't something out of fantasy, like Godzilla's atomic breath, but because it has similar skin to a cuttlefish that can do that in reality. For starters, let's take a look at what we understand to be Hank's composition. Base body frame of a modified Spinosaurus, combining other entire genome sets, such as that of the Indominus, Scorpius Rex, and an entire legion of animals, many from different classes.
And Giga, Carno, Majunga, Velociraptor, Tyrannosaur, Dunkleosteus, Scorpionfish, Tree Frog, Cuttlefish,
At least 20 species.
Pit Viper, Therizino, Pistol Shrimp, whatever the fuck a Rugops is, and I can't even pronounce this. What is that? Quilmes? I don't know.
And who knows what else is in there?
Viva Venator, Dinosuchus, Tardigrade, and Chameleon. There.
Recall what Dr. Wu said to Masrani.
You cannot have an animal with exaggerated predator features without the corresponding behavioral traits.
A Therizinosaurus, Spino, and Pistol Shrimp might be used to fighting with their arms, but even more animals on the list didn't. T-Rex, Giga, Dinosuchus, and a bunch of wimpy-armed Abelisaurus. Hank's instincts on how to fight with its arms is going to be messed with. It would be every neural problem the Scorpius Rex had, but amplified. Some additives like the chameleon would actually hinder it. Giving Hank movable eye stalks like the chameleon would mess with its binocular vision from T-Rex genes. And it would compromise its own camouflage from the cuttlefish. Turns out pop culture lied here. Chameleons are not actually masters of disguise as you may think. A few types can change color to hide, but most of the time these lizards reactively change color to show emotion. Mix in the chaotic mind of the Scorpius on top of everything else, and Hank would be lighting itself up like a neon sign instead of using...
Yeah, so I guess camouflage is really out of the question for Hank then. That'd just be glowing up like a goddamn LED light.
its camo like the Indominous could. This is precisely why the total number of species in the Indominous 2.0 genome was kept small. See for yourself. Base Indominus had at least 13 total confirmed contributors to its genome. Indom 2.0 only has 9 confirmed, reducing the
having it again. Tyrannosaur, Saurophagonex? I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Great ape, velociraptor, short-tailed shrew, dwarf crocodile, cuttlefish, pit viper, whiptail lizard. Yeah.
Number of contributors in turn increased.
You know, the original had T-Rex, Therizina, Regops, Carnotaur, Carnotaurus, Majungasaurus, Giga, Velociraptor, Cuttlefish, Pit Viper, Dinosuchus, Quillomesaurus, Vivanetter, and Tree Frog. Yeah.
Increases congruity, meaning each individual component works together and lessens split instincts. But is less actually more? We think so. With a quadrupedal stance and lacking raptor-like feet or a sail, the 2.0 would be a lot more stable than the top-heavy and seemingly less balanced Hank. Based on their frames alone, if they get in a wrestling match, the Indom is less likely to go down first. To make this as fair as possible, we're going to ignore the fact that Indom 2.0 can reproduce clones of itself extremely fast via parthenogenesis. Thanks.
Yeah, that is another thing too, because I feel like if a bunch of Indominus 2.0s rush the thing, Hank stands no chance.
To the whiptail lizard, producing an army of these animals. So we'll keep this to a 1v1 discussion. But even with this, you'll find that it will be getting easier for the Indom. How? Let's compare their jaws. Despite their tiny size, shrews use their jaws in a manner not that much different than Tyrannosaurus. With iron-reinforced teeth and a strong bite force, they chomp right through armored exoskeletons, tough scales, and mulch bone. Their method of biting down, where they crunch and thrash, works very well in conjunction with the T-Rex, who did almost the same thing. What about the Dunkleosteus-fueled bite of Hank? It all comes down to bite mechanics. Yes, Dunkleosteus has a very famous bite, but it is an attribute that the internet and pop culture have massively flubbed. PSI, or pounds per square inch, is not a very reliable way to measure biting force unless you are very careful about what you're doing. This is why some reported biting forces from this armored fish are as low as 1,000 PSI to an obscenely huge 80,000. These mostly come from bad reporting and not actual research work. This is why scientists that study how animals use their jaws rely on other measurements, like newtons. This may come as a bummer for most of you, especially the creators of Hank, but scientific research on the infamous fish determined it had a jaw strength of only around 4,000 to 7,000 newtons. That might sound like a lot, but in reality, that's half the force of a great white shark.
Damn.
Instead of chomping down,
That's not much at all now, is it? Well, how much is a great white? Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna Google it for a sec. Great white has a bite force of about 4,000. Okay, yeah, that's not much compared to the Indom 2.0.
the dunk was built more for having its mouth open quickly to suction feed on small prey and then bite down quickly to carve into more medium-sized game. The findings of one Dunkleosteus that was attacked by another also shows this shearing bite failed to penetrate the thick armor on the fish, meaning the full-body bony armor of the Indom 2.0, courtesy from the dwarf croc, would actually resist a lot of Hank's bite. But why not factor in the bite force of the other contributors in Hank's genome, like T-Rex? Surely that will pierce the Indom's hide, right? The bites of the Dunk and the Rex are the perfect example of why animals either bite down hard and crunch, or they can open their mouth wide and bite down exceptionally fast. Can't have both. Trying to put T-Rex force behind a dunk jaw can result in the poor thing smashing its own face.
Damn.
Okay, but surely those overpowered arms wielded by Hank can punch Indom 2.0 into oblivion with hundreds of tons of force. Well, let's find out. One of Hank's killer apps to try to make it the killer of 2.0 was one of the most innocuous-looking creatures in the ocean. Pistol shrimp are an entire family of small crustaceans with a very specialized snapping mechanism in their arms. By cocking back one claw, they are able to force water into a chamber and then explosively convert the captured water into steam to make a bubble that snaps with an average of over 700 newtons of force. An impressive adaptation for both hunting small game and defending themselves, especially given that sound is much stronger underwater than it is in the air. Taking this mechanism and its striking power out of the water and applying this to a dinosaur will likely work against Hank. Doubling this mechanism in size doesn't double strength. Now Hank has to worry about moving the weight of its hands much faster. And add in that water is nearly 1,000 times denser than air, and any weapon that produces pressure waves is far less powerful in the air than in the water. So up here, this snapping, or punching, will be outright impossible. And if it was, well, not to bore you with the math, but Hank's shrimp-fueled striking force would be around 16,145 newtons. Remember that the huge forces of the pistol shrimp are not about strength, but how the physics of water work. But let's throw water physics out of the window, and let's say that these hands strike with said hundreds of tons of force. Unless Hank's shoulders are made of vibranium, the blowback would shatter its own arms even if it missed.
No, I called it like kamikaze, that it might be like a sort of a kamikaze type thing at the end of the first video. That might have been, what is it, over? Would he call that an over or understatement? I don't know. Because I feel like it's not even gonna get to, I feel like it's a glass cannon, but it only hurts itself from just moving. It's like Deku at the start of My Hero Academia. Except the only difference is that it doesn't really seem to be able to maybe get anything off, maybe. Or maybe it could, but just not enough. Jesus.
Dinosaur arms aren't meant to do these things at this scale, and honestly, you can't expect them to. Hank would disarm itself on day one upon using this striking force on practically anything, before it grows up large enough to fight the 2.0. So far, we have an animal with a shattered face, broken forearms, self-inflicted by the way, and now it's the perfect time we bring up something Hank's creators may have forgotten about.
Which is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, even I forgot about that shit, yeah. Yeah, the Endo 2.0 could just make a spear and just jam it through its head or something.
Hank had some pretty tough animals in the genome, like the Giga, Indom, and Spino, but none of them are particularly armored nor really resistant to stabs, much less getting a sharpened metal pole shoved into them. Even if facing against the one-punch man of hybrids, the Indom 2.0's tool use, dexterity, and grappling would give her plenty of means to strike back, including at range. Recall that the Great Ape genome and hand augmentations allow the Indom to make use of these effectively and with purpose. But if we're going to stick solely on weapons that aren't laying around on the floor, another one of Hank's defense mechanisms comes into play. In nature, one of the most common defenses and offenses are poison and venom. Hank comes into the fray with a modification to the oil-producing glands it has across its skin, producing a toxin that causes what is technically called intravascular coagulation.
I'm so curious to see how we get past this.
This can cause nasty blood clots if in big doses, and one snake, the Russell's Viper, even uses it as a chief component in its venom. The problem? Hank got handed the wrong poison for the wrong job. Remember these two? We didn't cover this in the Indominous 2.0's rampage across Isla Nublar, but we didn't forget about Dr. Wu's first hybrid. The Scorpius Rex would be rampant enough to pick a fight against the Indom 2.0, so we'd give our hybrid a hidden edge if it ever went up against another toxic opponent. And boy did it show up! It's a little-known fact, a favorite food of crocodilians just so happens to be snakes, including highly venomous vipers. Able to section off parts of their bloodstream to avoid circulating the toxins too far with strong antibodies, crocs can tank bite after bite from toxic prey with often little effect. And short-tailed shrews aren't just venomous in their own right, they shrug off most poisons. Their own venom...
Well, guess all that poisonous shit just ain't gonna do anything, huh? Damn. It was all for nothing.
Can cause rapid blood coagulation and muscle locking worse than many snakes. They are immune to their own and similar toxic elements called glycoproteins. Add in a hyperactive metabolism that can break down blood clots and purge toxins very quickly, and it's a big pair of reasons why shrews are also known to hunt and kill snakes many times their size. So, in other words, Hank's main defense wouldn't do anything to the Indom 2.0. Blood clots just couldn't affect it enough. Ironic.
Yeah, so this thing really was just designed to pretty much just hurt itself. The thing will pretty much just be begging for someone to kill it by the time it's like ready to do shit like that. It's like, oh my god, why'd you do this to me? Just put me out of my misery. You've created me only for the purpose to hurt myself. Well, for the purpose to kill this thing, but all I do is hurt myself just from doing shit. Just put me out of my misery. I can't bite correctly. My arms blow off when I try to punch people. And my defense doesn't even work on the main thing I'm supposed to be trying to kill. Oh, jeez.
Especially since this was sold off as the peak survivability trait that would deter any future opposition against Hank, tardigrade traits in this case will cause huge drawbacks. Tardigrades are legendary for their ability to survive radiation, heat, and cold when in their dormant state. The key to this are the gel-like proteins that surround their cells called CAHS proteins. This gel can spare the cell from a lot of things, but it can't stop toxins that attack the connections between the cells. And coincidentally, this is exactly how the neurotoxin in the shrew venom works in addition to blood clotting. In fact, giving more proteins around the cells just gives more for the venom to work off of. And this is something that can't be averted. Get the tardigrade perks, if any, and you also take their weaknesses. After laying bare the critical weaknesses of Hank, it's now safe to say that without even changing a single thing to the 2.0's genome, or lifting a single finger, Indom 2.0 remains undefeated.
I guess
Furthermore, Hank's overpowered jaw and hands disarmed itself before it could even step in the fighting ring. He did this to himself. However, to the merit of Hank's creators, this is a fantastic design as a monster.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, the design is superb. Like, design is amazing. Yeah.
Just raw force or some tweaks, Hank could stand his ground against the 2.0 and actually have a good shot at winning.
Possibly, yep. Goji Guy's got to get back in the lab and start dextering this shit or something. I don't know. That was probably the wrong term to use, but he's got to get back in the lab and science that shit correctly then. We couldn't just... Yeah, I guess... It was like, we're gonna go into this and we're gonna take all the best traits in there, but oh yeah, we forgot you can't do that without taking the drawbacks, and now well, this Goji Center was like, alright, well that's really cool, but did you check the drawbacks? The drawbacks? Really backfired, huh?
Its visible adaptability to swimming and being adept to most terrains, truly horrifying appearance, and malevolent nature is truly something that we at Goji HQ appreciate and would look forward to featuring on the channel again. But here on Goji Center...
Yeah, like, what needs to happen is Goji Guy needs to go take Hank back into the lab, go tweak it a little bit, and then maybe have like one of those face-off videos of Indominous 2.0 versus Hank 2.0, because Hank 1.0 is pretty much just a dinosaur made for self-harm, pretty much. Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
We are not cooking up 3.0 to counter it. 2.0 is lethal enough.
Yep.
For now, though, Indom 2.0 has other problems to worry about. Much bigger problems.
Oh, yeah, because that's another thing that's happening. They're putting him against the improved Ultimasaurus too. What was it? Ultimasaurus Imperatix or I don't remember the fucking full name of it, but he made a video where he took the Ultimasaurus and the thing ended up being weak as shit. And so he took the Ultimasaurus and improved the fuck out of it. Yeah. And I mean massively. So it'd definitely be interesting to see the Indom 2.0 fight the Ultimasaurus 2.0. So yeah, as for who would win that, I don't know. I just know it's gonna happen in the future. And it's definitely gonna be interesting. Ultimasaurus Imperatrix. Okay, there we go. Imperatrix, yeah. And Ultimasaurus Imperatrix. There we go. Alright. And make sure I was pronouncing it right. I'm going back in the comments of both videos, and I'm looking at this one comment on the Goji Guy video. Goji Center is probably gonna somehow make a stronger one after this to rub it in, Lamau. He didn't need to, apparently. Because it was already good enough. And yeah, like I said earlier, the pinned comment on the Goji Center video is to clarify, there's absolutely no serious rivalry between Goji Center and Goji Guy. This is a friendly response to their friendly response to the creation of Indominus 2.0. We at Goji Center value them as friends of the channel and fellow creators. That said, please remember to treat everyone with the respect that they deserve. Have fun, and thank you all for the support. Yeah, seriously, like, do that. Like, let's be respectful about it. Yeah, like this comment in the Goji Center video. Local man destroys dinosaur with facts and logic. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, this is actually hilarious. Goji Guy is actually streaming his reaction to this as I'm recording this. Gonna go out to watch his reaction after this video, yeah. And speaking of which, I'm gonna go into this one. So if you enjoyed it, check out the original videos, which will be linked in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.